He's got his cast, so it says justice on it. And then somebody says Hook is some fucking girl says on Twitter, Hook is what? Stokely, I hate your bald ass so much. And then Big Stoke on Twitter goes, wow, Hook will pay for his crimes. It was confirmed that there was a forearm fracture which required a cast. I am distraught. I rolled dice with my left hand, so I'm please don't make me sue this company, Tony Khan. Please, you know that a portrait of your father that's hanging in your office? Well, once I own this company, I'm replacing it with a big-ass photo of James Brown. Yep. Every time you see the Godfather of Soul sweating in drug-fueled rage at the Apollo, you're gonna think of me. Sounds pretty miserable, bro. Do the right thing. Punish this little bastard Hook and write me a fat check. By the way, here's a photo of me with my best friend Al Sharpton. It means absolutely nothing, by the way. Blushing face. But somebody tweeted, he tweeted, Hook is a piece of shit, and then somebody tweeted this. Some woman, I dated a 5'8" guy who taunt every jack. Oh wait, I dated a 5'8" guy who taunt every jacked. 6'3" bro he met until they pulled their first back to beat him up. Whereupon my ex would go, hey, come on. I'm a little guy. I'm just a little guy. No, it's just also my birthday. I'm a birthday boy. It somehow always worked. And then Stokely just quote tweets it. F you. Antonio Brown, but who the fuck's in the background? It's Hook. It's fucking Hook. And then he's getting twerked on by some fucking broad. My t-shirt money is now in the ass crack of some fucking stripper. So thanks, Hook. But I don't. But Jesus Christ, this is the greatest fucking thing I've ever seen.
Clip it.
Oh, but
actually, hey, it worked out in the long run.
I actually do hope they make another season actually, because I would love to see the American Dragon on Total Bellas start memeing on John Laurinaitis. You have live footage of John Laurinaitis in his living room calling somebody in his underwear saying, "Hey, bud, you're fired."
What did Max Caster say about me?
Like I'm embarrassed the fact that I'm hosting a post show for this crap.
I'm proud of you, Carl. I love this.
We did our Valentine's Day post of Hooked on You, but it was mainly for Jamie Hayter and only Jamie Hayter.
It's not right. It's not right. I'm trying to build an account and we get this bullshit on the account. Great. But
also follow a simp account.
Okay. Okay, but here's the thing, because those people, this is networking.
We actually follow.
You got
it was a business decision.
It's a business. It's a business. You have to follow these people. This is like following. If you want a stan account, you got to follow the other stans. And when you get big, you get rid of them. You get rid of them after that. It's over with.
I open up our Instagram and the first thing I see is Pro Wrestling Simp, and I'm like, what is this?
I don't look at that. I don't look at that stuff. Decision. It's a business decision because that guy promotes us, and then when we don't need him anymore, we toss him aside. That's what happens.
Yeah, well, we got go fucking slap it on a t-shirt and continue to use the move forehead.
Unpretty.
This guy just say fucking forehead. What? This guy say forehead.
Yes, I did.
You think I fucking wouldn't catch that? You think nobody on this program would catch that? But I did. For weird.
You almost didn't.
For weird.
Let's be honest. You almost didn't.
Weird champ. This is what we resort to here.
All right. Next up.
Unbelievable. 5 head.
Next up, we have.
Why people happy? Pagu. Weird champ. Weird. Forehead.
Oh god.
Franker faces.
Oh.
Wowie. Why people sad? What else?
Look at how red my face is.
What else we got? Let me go on Twitch right quick. Okay.
Why?
Why do people happy? KW, LOLW, XQCL.
All right. The Acclaim promo now. You're backstage.
Okay.
They're just like, yo, it's not gonna be a triple. It's not gonna be a
Yo,
normal.
dude, we're gonna do a fatal 4-way poggers, bro. Thanks for the fucking
God,
bits.
Fuck, damn it! Jump off a roof.
Well, they just lost Gunther, so I don't know how that is gonna survive. But what's it called? But the Third Reich faction. That's the Imperium's gonna turn to the Third Reich now. But he posted a picture on Twitter with Sean Dean. He's got his castle. It says justice on it. And then somebody says Hook is some fucking girl says on Twitter, Hook is what? Stokely, I hate your ball ass so much. And then Big Stoke on Twitter goes, wow, Hook will pay for his crimes. It was confirmed that there was a forearm fracture which required a cast. I am distraught. I rolled dice with my left hand, so I'm please don't make me sue this company, Tony Khan. Please, you know that a portrait of your father that's hanging in your office? Well, once I own this company, I'm replacing it with a big-ass photo of James Brown. Yep. Every time you see the Godfather of Soul sweating in a drug-fueled rage at the Apollo, you're gonna think of me. Sounds pretty miserable, bro. Do the right thing. Punish this little bastard Hook and write me a fat check. By the way, here's a photo of me with my best friend Al Sharpton. It means absolutely nothing, by the way. Blushing face. But somebody tweeted, he tweeted, Hook is a piece of shit. And then somebody tweeted this. Some woman, I dated a 5'8" guy who taunt every jack. Oh wait, I dated a 5'8" guy who taunt every jacked. 6'3" bro he met until they pulled their first back to beat him up. Whereupon my ex would go, hey, come on. I'm a little guy. I'm just a little guy. No, it's just also my birthday. I'm a birthday boy. It somehow always worked. And then Stokely just quote tweets it. Fuck you. Tony Brown, but who the fuck's in the background? It's Hook. It's fucking Hook. And then he's getting twerked on by some fucking broad. My t-shirt money is now in the ass crack of some fucking stripper. So
this. It's Wednesday, guys. You know what that means. It is time for your weekly dose of the Pro Wrestling Injection right here on the Pro Wrestling Injection YouTube and Twitch. Mike is out yet again, which it happens. Stuff pops up, stuff happens. He's a hardworking person. So it's just me and the Goon today. I'm the Outlaw of Long Island. That is the Goon Christian. We got a very light news day, thank God. I guess let's just kick it off with what you have for Will Ospreay, then I'll lead into the big one.
So last weekend Impact had their Bound for Glory show, which was actually a very good show, but highlighted by one excellent match between Will Ospreay and Speedball Mike Bailey. Just 17 minutes of excellence. All gas, no brakes, pedal to the metal, fucking high octane action. Excellent match between those two. Very, very well worth the money and well worth the time to go pay 15 minutes of your life to go watch it. It's fucking great shit. But it's listen, Ospreay, as we all know, we talked about that his deal with New Japan is coming up around February, March of next year, and there's a lot of talk about where he's going to land. He's even alluded to himself in AEW. They in promos in AEW, so AEW is an option. He said he would love to re-sign with New Japan. So I mean, he's got a great thing going over there right now. So I think that's a viable option. There's also the WWE, which in the past, Will Ospreay said he really didn't want to go to WWE. But according to reports this week, he's going to listen to everyone. He's going to listen to everybody, every company. So WWE isn't something that's not off the table. Stranger things have happened, and crazier things have happened. So him going to WWE is not a wild possibility. And also Impact is another place he could maybe end up. I mean, they've opened the doors for him. He just had 2 matches there. One hasn't been aired yet with Josh Alexander, but He has not. He had nothing but great things to say about the company on Twitter. Uh, Even Scott Demore put him over how much of a joy he was to work with.
Yeah.
So I mean, Impact would be fucking stupid if they weren't gonna try at least to get a Will Ospreay. This is the in my opinion, probably the best wrestler in the world right now. Currently, he just hired Barry Bloom to be his agent. Which, if you don't know that name, Barry Bloom, he is he's an agent for professional wrestlers, and notably, he is the agent for Kenny Omega, Nick Jackson, and Hangman Adam Page, I
Mm.
believe.
Yeah,
And
he
I believe
is.
a couple others, but notably, he's the Elite's manager, and obviously that's big names in the business. So, him hiring him to try and get him the best deal somewhere, due to him being the best, makes sense. So, this is gonna be. We all talk about the bidding war of 2024 for MJF, but there's gonna be one waiting in the wings with Will Ospreay, about a month after. So, listen, that's gonna be a big story when we come to it.
Oh yeah.
I think every company, I don't care if you're fucking MLW all the way to WWE, you should be firing on all cylinders to go get a Will Ospreay. This is like having fucking one of the most generational talents that is gonna go down as maybe the greatest ever, up for grabs, and everybody and their mother should be trying to fucking sign this guy.
Yeah.
Um,
But
but anyway, after that,
we got
just
yeah.
another note from the Impact show. Um, there was a well before well just prefacing just prefaces this before the Impact show. They were teasing a lot of stuff on on their live shows and on Twitter and all this stuff like this. Something was gonna happen. There was gonna be a change, a big change in Impact, and
Well,
we didn't know what that was. But at the end of the show, they did a little vignette of a bunch of the Impact originals, a
so
bunch of the
happy.
current stars of Impact, and basically the announcement was they were reverting back to TNA.
Let's
Impact
go.
Impact. Oh, your camera's going, by the way.
I know everything just froze. So what?
Yeah, all right.
We're back. Okay, we're back.
Impact is going back to the TNA name. Total Nonstop Action Wrestling is going to be called TNA Wrestling. So it's not going to be Impact anymore. It's going to be TNA. We're going back. It's a little strange. I didn't really see this coming. I mean, it doesn't really benefit them in any way.
Yeah.
It's just kind of something kind of cool. Just to call it TNA again. But it's not like it's just a big time thing. It's a name change. You're gonna see different logos. No, the six-sided ring isn't coming back.
As far as reports or statements.
No, it's not, because the wrestlers are against it. So, and even people on the roster spoke out saying that they don't want that. And if the wrestlers don't want it, then don't do it. Because those are the people that are using the fucking ring.
Well, it's like what I think, like what Kurt Angle liked it when he was in TNA.
Well, Kurt Angle's not an active wrestler
But he
anymore.
also said like that's what made them stand out. That's what made them the alternative too.
Well, I always saw it as we're reinventing the wheel, for no reason. You have a ring, has four sides. Every company in the world has that. How about you stick to that? It's not reinvent the wheel. It was cool for a little bit. The wrestlers don't like it.
Technically, a wrestling ring is supposed to be circle, but
the wrestlers don't like it. Some have spoken out against it, and it's not as safe as a regular ring. So
that's obvious.
Yeah, so yeah, they don't need to be doing those six-sided ring. Maybe for an event. Maybe they do a pay-per-view, like a classic TNA pay-per-view where they have the six-sided ring. Okay, that's fine.
Or just for the first show back.
Yeah, maybe something like that. But it should not. We're not going back to that shit. There's no reason to. It's dumb. And
I think
As soon as the wrestlers say they don't want it, that's when it should be over with.
I think another thing we should mention about the Impact show, because probably be dumb not to mention it, but apparently CM Punk was backstage.
Well, yeah, Ace Steel got hired, which he was actually gonna be brought in to Impact before he even got signed with AEW the first time, so it makes sense to me. Um, but I mean, he's been backstage at Impact before, even back when he was with AEW. Uh, he was back for Trinity's debut. Uh, that there was footage there. So it's not really a big deal. I mean, him going to Impact would be big, and I could see something like that happening one day. But I'm pretty sure he was just there to support his friend. And I think people are trying to make it into something that it's not.
Well, because there were reports that Impact was looking to sign Punk.
Well, why wouldn't they?
Of course, but like as I had mentioned, I mentioned this in the main hit list group chat. If if Impact, now TNA, is to get CM Punk, they might as well just file for Chapter 11 bankruptcy at that point.
Well, I mean, I don't think Punk's gonna end. It's either Punk has two options: AEW or WWE, and both don't want him right now. So, um, it's. I mean, it is what it is. It's literally he was just there to support his friend, probably. But
Yeah, as far as we're aware,
that's really all it is. But yeah, it was quite a newsworthy show. Their next event, I believe, is going to be overseas, and I believe it's in the UK. Their next pay per view, so there should be some more news coming out of there, because I don't know if that's the first TNA branded pay per view, because I don't know if it's that one or the one afterwards.
It's gonna be at the start of the new year. They're gonna go back to
so
they're gonna refer back to TNA. Also, Mike, I saw your comment saying, "Hey fellas, hopefully I'll be able to catch up by next week and be back." But no, it's like I'm happy that TNA is coming back, as one, like, I think everyone called Impact TNA a lot, to be honest.
I mean, the people didn't watch it.
True, because also it's on like what, it's on their own platform and it goes live on Access.
No, it's not. It's on Access, and it's on Access and it's on YouTube.
Which, the only way to watch Access, I believe, inside of New York, is having a Sling TV subscription.
Yeah, I have I just bought the
froze
YouTube
again.
One. I just have the YouTube one for Impact, but yeah.
Christian, if my computer borks out, just go live off of your end or whatever.
Okay.
And pick up from there.
Yeah. But anyway, it's it's a cool thing, but it's not really like groundbreaking shit. However, just the last piece of news that I forgot to mention earlier, but we do have a New Japan Strong show coming up this Saturday, and I mean, a lot of the talent, Super Junior Tag League is going on right now in New Japan, so a lot of the heavyweight talents don't have to be in Japan right now. I mean, hence why you saw Okada tonight on Dynamite.
Yeah.
But I'm not running down the entire card at all, but there is a key important matchup regarding AEW, and that is Eddie Kingston and Hanare for the Strong Openweight Championship. They wrestled in the G1 earlier this summer, and Hanare ended up attacking Kingston. They've been hyping this matchup for a while. That's going to be going down.
Who was the person that Osprey? Oh, Osprey wanted Speedball to be. No, who was the person Osprey wanted to be in the G1?
Josh Alexander. But that hasn't aired yet on Impact. That's going to be airing tomorrow, I believe.
All right.
But yeah. And listen, I've been calling for that as well. Josh just was in Japan for the first time last month for their not Power Struggle. I don't know why the name is blanking on me, but their last event they had Destruction. At Destruction, Josh Alexander, his first time in Japan. Him in the G1 is a lock for me this
Yeah.
year. After last year, they had Mike Bailey in the Best of the Super Juniors. So they have a very good relationship with Impact right now, and Josh Alexander in the G1 would make a lot of sense. I mean, they had Eddie Kingston in there, so Josh Alexander is kind of a no-brainer for me.
Oh yeah,
But
and
anyway,
and we're putting Eddie into the G1 and put a lot more eyes onto the G1 of people who didn't expect to watch a G1. I guess just like a reminder that the drop for the new OS for New Japan apps drops the 9th of November. They have, if you go to their New Japan's webpage, they have a mission statement there, so you can look at it and be amazed by it because they list everything. Every Android's getting it, iPhones are getting it, Apple TV, Fire Stick's getting it, Roku's getting it, everyone's getting it. So it's gonna be fun.
yeah, look at this shit here.
What?
I'm gonna end up fucking. I just don't like wrestling fans at all.
Oh my
I
god,
really don't like
what?
these people. Please retire the segments showing wrestlers breaking into someone's home. I hope someone breaks into your fucking house. How about that?
Listen, the
And
wrestler breaking into
cuts
a
your
home,
internet access.
a wrestler breaking into someone's home, like hell, that's how a lot of people found fucking WWE with
Exactly.
with Brian Pillman and
Triple H-
Stone Cold, Triple H
Oh,
and
I'm gonna say-
Orton.
In me becoming a wrestling fan in 2011, one of the first angles I ever saw going back and researching stuff on YouTube was Triple H and Randy Orton. And I
Mhm.
thought this was the fucking craziest shit I've ever seen. So I hope somebody breaks into your house. I hope somebody clips your internet cable. And I hope desperately that is what it takes for you to shut the fuck up. All right? So anyway, we had a show tonight. But it started off not with the intro. This is the first Dynamite I can remember without the fucking intro. But we had Renee in the back with MJF, and MJF's just hyping up how he's gonna beat the shit out of Juice Robinson. He's talking to Jay. He wants his Triple B back. And
No, he calls Adam just to see
Yeah,
how
then
he's doing.
then he called Adam Cole because now it's canon. He had his surgery, which I mean, if you didn't see Adam Cole earlier today playing Tears of the Kingdom, he was talking about it on there. So yeah, that's all done with. Oh, and actually, the funny thing is, just referring to, I got this piece of information I forgot to share, but the Kevin Owens comment was actually not directed at Adam Cole, which ended up being funny. He actually has another friend named Adam, who just had to get his kidney removed.
That's too funny.
And I mean, it's a big coincidence that Kevin Owens has two friends named Adam getting major surgeries at the same time.
Technically,
But
Adam Cole's shoot name is Austin.
Yeah, his name's Austin. Yeah, but listen, he has two friends named Adam. And he didn't say the last name, so I think that's why there was some confusion. But listen, fuck it. Why not both? But anyway, yeah. So Roddy rolls
Adam.
up. He rolls up. This guy's fucking screaming.
He's no longer in the hospital gown. He's actually in clothes.
Yeah. So
I wonder who dressed him.
I mean, he probably took a long time to get that shit on. But anyway, fucking Taven's there. Bennett's there. Mr. Giraffe is there. And listen, Adam was like, you know what? I gotta go. I gotta get going. But Roddy basically told him, in the interest of us and our friend, we'll help you out. Our interest of our mutual friend will help you out. And then he said, I forgot what he exactly said, but he basically told Bennett and Taven to get the fuck out, and then he pushed Roddy backwards in the wheelchair. He just wheeled him off camera, which is funny as shit. And then he started going right back into his rant.
They're
And
having
then,
a blast with this angle.
And yeah, and then he told Jay White he's not on the level of the devil. Then it cut to black, and then the devil mask popped up. The person in the devil mask popped up, and then they palmed the camera and it all glitched out. I just want to pay mention there was another devil sighting on Collision.
Yes.
But that was the first time we've seen the devil since the Jay White attack.
Thing is, people have pointed out, and like once again, like people are, and sometimes they're like, it definitely shows how autistic us for wrestling fans can be. This devil that appeared on Collision looked different than the devil that appeared at the end of Dynamite that night, because the Dynamite, because
it was fucking Jimmy the cameraman playing the devil that time.
Well, no, because that devil had like he looked shorter. He wasn't as built. The one on Dynamite.
Yep.
This one who appeared
and this one
twice.
This one was Jerry from catering,
who looks more built. But it's just like it's interesting. Sometimes the wrestling fans and their tisms
Stupidity.
fucking help.
So all that is whoever it's gonna be. I'm going to tell you who it's going to be. The person who the devil is going to be is the person who is going to be when it's revealed.
Yes.
Or has to do any type of physicality. We have not seen that yet. So, as far as where I'm concerned, the jury's still out on the devil and whoever the masked assailants were. But yeah, there was this sighting on Collision, and Jay White got fucking spooked, and he got his ass out of there. And then there was another sighting tonight, and this is the only devil sighting that we've seen. So I like it. It's like a little hanging story, and it's actually quite important because it's like a cloud looming over his MJF and all these people's heads. And that's another part of the story that I want to get to when we talk about a segment later on.
Yeah.
But anyway, we got to the match. We had Juice Robinson versus MJF for the Dynamite Diamond Ring. Very, very good match. Juice ended up getting color in this match. Juice got juiced. But halfway into the match, Jay White came out. He joined Shivani, Taz, and Excalibur on commentary. He was loudly cheering for Juice. But this match was great. There was a lot of interference from the Guns. There was a kangaroo kick. There was both sides of choking each other with the Burberry scarf. There was a left hand, and the finish was great. Juice went for the left hand of God with the TJ Maxx ring, but MJ took out the Dynamite Diamond ring and hit the right hand of God on him, and basically knocked his ass out. Hit him with the Heat Seeker and defeated Juice Robinson to become the 5 years in a row, 5-peat of the Dynamite Diamond Ring. And I thought coming in, they're probably going to put it on Juice, but just thinking about it, actually doesn't make any sense for them to have, for Juice to have a pinfall victory over MJF when hasn't even gone into a pay-per-view main event with Jay White yet. So, that made a total sense to me why they had MJF win.
Yeah, of course.
Because you can't have him taking a loss.
I do think though, like it should be about time we retire the Dynamite Diamond Ring.
But we got another year. That shit ain't going nowhere right now. Especially after they did this tonight.
Fair enough.
Juice cannot pawn it off.
I'm surprised they just didn't take it off him and steal it and hightail it.
Well, they already did that to his belt.
Well, yeah, but this time they can actually pawn it off and get rid of it.
Well, all right. Well, listen, you're asking for 2 robberies in a 1 robbery angle.
I mean, yes, one is a petty crime, the other one is a federal crime.
Well, it doesn't matter. Listen, we had enough crime on the show. There was fucking home invasion today, probably burglary. But anyway, yeah. So MJF retains. He gets on the mic. Actually, wait, excuse me. The Ass Boys, the Guns, they come in the ring and they start beating down MJF. Juice joins in. Jay shows up and joins in. He's about to give him the Blade Runner, but all of a sudden, here comes Matt Taven, Roddy, and Mike Bennett, and they're coming here to make the save, and but Roddy can't get up, so I mean, they were no help. But
They
but after
tried.
that, yeah, but after that, here comes the Acclaim. That's who I was waiting for. Like, all right, so they're not gonna help, but the Acclaimed are gonna definitely show up. So here comes the Acclaim. They fought off Bullet Club Gold. And now they're outnumbered. But now Jay gets on the mic. He's like the only belt that matters is the guy holding the Bang Bang belt. Um, and how he's gonna beat him at Forbidden Door. The Guns ended up challenging MJF to a match on Full Gear for the Ring of Honor Tag Team Championships, and MJF got on the mic and accepted. And he also accepted the challenge for next week, the 8-man tag team match between MJF, his partners, and Bullet Club Gold. So, after that, fucking, I think I'm pretty sure Bullet Club Gold. I don't know if they left or not, but they Roddy is like Max, and then
I'm right here.
And MJ's like, Roddy, I'm right here. You don't have to yell. It's like, you're gonna pick us, right? You're really gonna pick us, right? He's like, listen, no chance, buddy. He just told him to fuck off. And then the Acclaim got their turn, and Max Caster, he said, I forgot. He asked them as well, and MJ said, "There's not a chance if my body was on fire that I would team with you."
So there's a chance.
So that you're saying there's a chance, and so MJF currently has no partners because he didn't pick between Roddy's crew. He didn't pick between the Acclaimed, but we do have a segment later that we're going to be talking about where he might have found one partner. But anyway, after this. I believe we had. Oh wait, excuse me. As MJF was walking out, Kenny Omega, his music hit. How can I forget this? Kenny Omega comes out to the ring. There was a lot going on in the opening segment, but Kenny gets out there. They start going face to face with MJF, him and Kenny. And
hey Ryan, sorry, that's a comment.
Yeah, no problem. And Kenny basically was saying, "Listen. I want to preserve my record. If you didn't know, Kenny Omega is the longest reigning AEW champion of all time at 346 days, and MJF is at 340, 40 plus, I believe. But Kenny, he said, "Listen, I want to preserve my record. If you're their scumbag like how you say they are, you'll accept my challenge." And he challenged him to a world title match this Saturday on Collision for the first time ever. MJF versus Kenny Omega. The match was accepted, and Kenny got in his ear. He did what MJF did, and he just said, 3 days, bitch.
See, the thing was, before this match was announced, both of them were announced for Collision.
Yes. So, I mean, it makes sense because I didn't expect them. I'm like, oh, wait, they're teasing this down the line for a pay-per-view main event. But it makes a lot of sense why they're doing it now is because Kenny Omega is 3 days away from losing his record as the longest reigning AEW champion.
Yeah.
And MJF has to preserve it, his reign. So this is a big-time main event. This could easily be a pay-per-view main event. They're giving to us for free on TV on Saturday. So this is must-see television. This is a must-see matchup, and I can't wait for MJF and Kenny Omega.
Then after this, we have Wardlow doing like a bit of a vignette as he's now talking again, and he mentioned MJF saying how he was out for 4 months, not because he was injured, but because he had nothing to do, and he got sick and tired of seeing how MJF become the face of AEW, and everyone started to love him, even though Wardlow knows how much of a true piece of shit MJF is, and he's gonna take back, and he's just gonna sum it up. He's probably just gonna kill MJF.
Yeah, so that's another challenger lined up for MJF down the line. He's sick and tired of this shit. The role should be reversed. Where Wardlow's going to be playing the heel because there's not a chance that MJF's going to be getting booed. But yeah, they set that up. That's another and we're gonna talk about it a little bit more later with more challenges for MJF. But yeah, that's another challenger for MJF coming up. But after this, we had the FTW champion Hook and Rob Van Dam versus the Dark Order's John Silver and Alex Reynolds. And this was a fun match. It was great to see Hook and RVD tagging again. They tagged on Collision a couple of weeks ago. And it was cool to see it because obviously they're in Philadelphia, the home
Yeah.
of ECW. It made sense. But yeah, Rob Van Dam and Hook picked up the victory. No really surprise there. And yeah, just great stuff between Hook and RVD. I mean, if they keep bringing in RVD for like these little shots like this, I have no problem with that. I mean, he still can go. He's still really good, and I'm just surprised they just didn't sign him. But that always could still happen.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, but anyway, after this, we
Tony
had
Storm segment.
Timeless, Tony Storm. RJ gave the introduction, but Tony interrupted and asked him to play the picture.
And this time she didn't have to say it twice.
Yep. So we had the Tony Storm's newest picture, Hold the Butler. So it was basically her and RJ getting ready to go on set, and Tony was asking for where's her butler.
Behind you.
He was right behind him, and the butler is Dr. Luther.
My man Luther. I'm so happy.
Which is fine because I mean this is the best role for him. He's not doing anything. He really has no business being in the ring on television. But I know he works as a coach in the back for AEW now. I mean obviously, but yeah, if they want to utilize him on TV and not in a wrestling capacity, that's cool with me.
He'll take some bumps as this.
Yeah, he could take. He could take bumps, but I think this is a great role. I mean, he's not in the way. He's not doing anything bad. He's there to compliment Tony Storm and take bumps for her and do funny comedy shit.
Listen, I'm being honest with me. I'm biased. I'm a big fan of Luther because like there's an inside joke amongst a wrestling podcast I'm a huge fan of that Luther is like. He's a good wrestler. Like can never deny his in-ring capability. Just he
was a big deathmatch wrestler in Japan,
and like he was fun with Serpentico.
Yep, but those times have passed.
Yeah,
and now he's a butler for Tony Storm, which is a great thing because Tony's doing some of the best shit.
He's back to square one
right now
for what he was supposed to do with the Nightmare Collective.
Yeah, but at least this is good.
Oh, true, very true. So after.
I will say this about Tony though. I think they're gonna take their time with this because they announced a little bit before this segment that Tony will be getting a title match.
Yes.
At Full Gear, against, and they keep saying who will it be? Obviously Shida's the champion right now, but I could see them doing like not a multi-women match, but like them trying to gas up like Shida might lose the title before they get to Tony.
Yeah,
I don't think that'll happen because they already have Tony. I mean, Shida already beat Tony for the title once, so she could probably get a lick back. But Mariah May.
Oh, sorry.
Mariah. I could see her debuting on that show, and fucking over Shida to help Tony win the title. So
I think. What we do is you definitely have Tony win the title at Full Gear.
Yeah, it's
then
like
this
I like
leads back into what was supposed to be for All In with Tony and Jamie. I think we lead that in for the first pay.
I like Jamie's still gonna be gone for a little bit, but here's the thing. I love Shida and I don't like the hot potato title swaps and people losing titles quickly. But listen, Tony Storm is on a different plane and a different level than any other woman in this company 100%. Right now in terms of in-ring work and character work. So if it was me, I'd put the belt right back on Tony Storm.
It's like here's how put the belt right back on. Here's what I just do, and this is just me. Like you have her drop it at Full Gear to Tony, then with the announcement of the Long Island pay-per-view for what before I dive into this,
It's a Rampage spoiler, but I doubt you care, and I already
I don't
saw
care.
it. Mark Briscoe returned.
Oh, good shit. I'm happy
That's
he's
way
back.
that's way ahead of schedule too. That's great.
So well, here's how I can just easily book Tony's run going into, I guess, just Revolution. You have Shida drop it at Full Gear, the match at on Long Island at the Nassau Coliseum for World's End, which is an amazing name for a pay per view. Holy shit! That's their end of the year pay per view. I think you will have whoever they want to put against Tony. Maybe Shida ask for a rematch. I think you have Tony retain, and then at the end of it, if Jamie is in a good standings even to make an appearance, you have her just tease the match.
Yeah, it's it's like because if Jamie is not ahead of schedule, I don't want to see her until she's fully cleared.
Well, like well, at least like you just tease it. You tease it there.
No, I'm saying like that's fine, but you also have another woman that is waiting to return that is very close to being cleared or cleared already, and that's Thunder Rosa.
I think Thunder Rosa is a better fit for the TBS, in my opinion, right now.
Well, right now, I would say that because I was gonna say Tony Storm and Statlander. Like that's what I originally thought a couple weeks ago, but they're not gonna do that. But yeah, I could see that, but they're already wrapped up with the Sky Blue and the Willow Nightingale stuff right now. But that could actually work in the future. But I do. The only reason I would just wait on Jamie is because you have a woman that everybody loves and adores, and she's probably the best in-ring woman in the company. If she's not ready to go yet, just don't put her on TV and make people even wait longer.
Yeah.
Like where I just wait. I'm already not a big fan of that. Where in wrestling in general, where people come back before they're healthy, and like I rather have like it's like Adam Cole. I want Adam Cole back as soon as possible. But if he's not 100% cleared, I don't want to see him. But
I think I pinpointed why sometimes the camera drops out. I have to update my drivers. Well, my graphics card. So I'll do that after this. Gotta love it.
But anyway, it's so that's the thing about that, and Mariah, I do expect her to debut soon. Probably at the pay-per-view because it's in Hollywood, it's in LA, and Tony's whole thing is like a Hollywood homecoming, even though she's from fucking Australia. Anyway, after this we had Tony Khan's gift for Sting. Tony Schiavone introduced Sting and Darby Allin. Darby was wearing a sling because this fucking idiot did a backflip on a big wheel at Nitro Circus.
Well, no,
again,
his
and
arm
right on
his arm
shoulder.
was already fucked up before then.
I know it was already fucked up, but I mean, I don't think that helps.
Like the fucking like a douchebag on Twitter, one of the many douchebags on Twitter, was like, I think Tony Khan should stop paying his employees like injury pay if they're gonna treat their injury like this. And everyone was like, shut the fuck up, go back to smoking cigarettes and probably beating your wife. And I was like, right, well, okay. Well,
but anyway,
thank you.
We had Sting talk about Philadelphia and what he's doing and his career and just what he's been doing, and giving thanks to Darby Allin, giving thanks to Tony Khan. But one of the best parts about this, he goes, well, I'm gonna let Tony get the mic now since he's asking for it.
That was too good.
Fucking Excalibur and fucking Taz lost their fucking mind. They lost their shit. That shit was so funny. They had to mute their mics. but anyway, after that, Tony Schiavone introduced Sting's gift, and it's none other than the Nature Boy, Ric Flair. Here comes Ric Flair. As soon as I heard the fucking the moon.
So
fucking
fun fact,
shit.
Mikey Ruckus got called 5 hours before showtime, and he put that together.
I mean,
Because
I don't know
surprisingly
what the
enough,
fuck they even did that for.
Flair's theme is not really royalty free.
Ah, that's fucking crazy. I'm like, there's like 1,000 versions of that song. Just pick one from like
Well-
a one view fucking YouTube channel. That
But
shit is in everything.
Yeah, like he posted on Twitter 5 hours before a show when I got the call, and I put that together for a legend.
Yeah, so yeah, we had Ric Flair come out and Sting. It looked like he was actually genuinely surprised.
I think he was. I think this was an actual surprise for him.
But obviously Ric Flair is very integral to the career of Sting. They 35 years ago on TBS and TNT, they had matches
Starcade,
together.
then TNA.
Yeah, they had matches together. They've worked together. Flair really helped Sting's career immensely in his formative years. They're great friends, and it's actually it's cool to see Flair. I mean, obviously Flair is kind of crazy.
Flair perpetually sounds drunk. Let's be honest.
Yeah,
as I always
yeah,
say.
but it's like Flair was actually supposed to appear in AEW like 2 years ago. I remember it was like right before the first Arthur Ashe, but then the Dark Side of the Ring episode came out.
Oh yeah.
And he was supposed they were teasing him managing Andrade. But he was, and it's not like he's been backstage before at AEW. I know
Yeah.
for a fact he's been backstage at AEW. He's friends with Tony Khan. He's actually sat next to Tony Khan and Gorilla for AEW shows before.
Completely
So this is
forgot
the
that he
first
was
time he's
supposed to
been,
be here.
it's his first time on camera in AEW,
Yeah.
but this was bound to happen at some point. The only thing I need now that he's here, I was like, send fucking Jay Lethal out there. Just send him out. Just send Jay Lethal to that fucking ring right now. Send him out. And listen, as I don't know how long they have Flair for, I swear to God, if they don't get him and Jay Lethal face to face, I'm gonna be fucking.
They're gonna do
livid.
something. They're gonna.
They have to.
Hell,
They
I
fucking
think
have
on
to.
the
That is my favorite segment ever.
I think on the eve of TNA and everything, because to be honest, like today felt like a very heavy TNA type show. You had Sting, you have Taz with commentary, you now have Ric Flair, you have fucking Jay Lethal, Jeff Jarrett. I think yeah, they should definitely do like some interaction. If not, put it on the vlogs.
Gotta do that. They have to do that shit at least once. That's literally one of the most entertaining wrestling segments of all time, and they have it sitting in their lap right now if they want to. But right now, obviously, wasn't the time.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I love
Flair
leadership
came out.
phases.
He talked great about Sting for a little bit. He gave thanks to Tony Khan. He started strutting. He started wooing, and all of a sudden, whose music hits other than Christian Cage? And I love that. My favorite part about Christian is that every time his music hits, everybody has the same reaction.
Oh no.
Shit. What
Here
the
we
fuck
go
is this
again.
guy gonna say? It's the first fucking thing I heard. The first thing I think I thought of when Ric Flair was in the ring,
This is his son.
and then Christian was fucking Reed, his son, which has been brought up
Only
once, and
it was
in
by
wrestling during Saraya,
Paige.
and that's in that angle she had with Charlotte in the
Even
contract
like
signing. which
even
that was
Paige
completely
takes it
that
back.
was shit. That shit was fucking completely out of line because it was also very recent. And it shouldn't have been said at the time.
Was it extremely recent post?
No, it wasn't extremely recent, but it was like I think it was like 1 or 2 years after.
God, yeah, when I saw, I was like, yeah, but I think like
Oh, let me see. Actually,
I think
no,
most
yeah,
wrestling...
he died in 2013. That had to be no less than 2014, 2015. That angle. Because that was like Divas Championship Charlotte, and that shit didn't show up until that shit.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, that had to be 2015. So it was like 2 years to 1 to 2 years after.
Then but yeah, I think I think Tony Khan is too much of like a person who has respect to not go that far. Sure, like the shit he's done with.
Tony Khan might not have respect. I mean, Tony Khan might have respect, but Christian Cage.
But
sure
in the realms of kayfabe, I think there's boundaries you don't cross. Sure, like with a lot of the stuff that MJF has said about Brian Pillman, Christian has said about
Brian Pillman saying that shit himself on NXT.
Which also
he don't give a fuck about his dad no more.
Someone said on Twitter, "This is the most lackluster shit I've ever seen in my life."
Well,
because he fucking Brian Pillman Jr., Lexus King, just came on a Roomba throne and walked out.
I actually like that entrance. I don't know what people were tripping about.
Yeah, because it felt lackluster because they hyped him up and then it just turned into
NXT.
this.
The fuck do you want? A WrestleMania entrance?
Yes, that's what people want.
Fucking NXT.
But
chill out.
More
but yeah. Anyway,
Brian,
Christian Cage came out and he's like, all right.
Tony Khan, a billionaire, who he bought you a cheap suit, gold chains, and a black liver.
Yeah, that was a crazy line. He also said,
what's worse is when they panned back to the ring, Darby Allin was holding in so much laughter.
He also said if there was a god, fucking Ric Flair would have been dead 20 years ago. He also said he said he wanted to put their money where their mouth is. He challenged Sting, Darby, and a partner of their choosing to a match at Full Gear against Christian, obviously, Nick Wayne, and Luchasaurus. But
it will not be Ric Flair.
It's not gonna be Ric Flair, but I forgot what he actually said at the end. Oh yeah, he's like, yeah, don't bring Ric Flair because it's gonna take one super kick for his pacemaker to start up.
No. He's one super kick away from his pacemaker turning to dust.
No. He said pacemaker to start kicking up and then he turns to dust. But yeah, I actually have it up right here. But the funny thing about it is they cut to the crowd and the women in the crowd are like fucking shocked, like they never heard Christian speak before. And they said Christian basically said he wants to make it into a funeral, and then he asked for the champ's music to be played, but Sting said they accept. And
he's allergic to whenever Christian Cage talks.
Jackass. He's like allergic to jackasses.
Okay.
So the first thought is that it's gonna be Christian, Luchasaurus, and Nick Wayne versus Darby, Sting, and Adam Copeland. But we are going to talk more about that when we get to the
thinking
segment.
This, and I'm probably way off the mark on this one, and I'm admitting that right now. I'm way off the fucking mark. Why not do what they originally had planned for Flair then? Somehow throw Andrade into the mix. I know, I'm way off the mark right now. But that's like my only mental, logical thing.
They could, but I'd rather have it be Adam Copeland.
Yeah.
To the point where every time Christian gets in the ring, he tags out, and he does it. They tell the story in the ring of him trying his best to do everything he can to not fight Christian. Where it comes down to the hot tag, and it's both of them in the ring, tagged him and legal at the same time, and everyone else is down, and he has no choice. That's the story's right there, and you could just tell the story in the ring.
All right.
But after this, we had the Ring of Honor 6-man tag team championship match between Brother Zay and the Hardys and the Elite.
A fun
Hangman
match.
Adam Page.
Very fun.
Hangman Adam Page and the Young Bucks. Yeah, great match. Felt like a PWG match.
Forgot. So on AEW this past Sunday, RJ City asked Adam, hey, so what would you like your lower third to say? He said intelligent and handsome. No, prepared and handsome. And today his lower third said very ill-prepared and extremely unattractive. So
That's fucking out of control. Anyway,
These people are so mean to him for no reason. Okay, it
but
was
anyway, but yeah, we had with the 6-man trios match, and it was a great match. Felt like a PWG match. Not really much to say. Not really much story stuff here, but the Elite retained their titles, and after the match, we
So,
had a
but
video
before
from Prince
this,
Nana. Yeah.
on Twitter, like so, on Twitter earlier today, Swerve took a picture inside the Charlotte International Airport, or Charlotte Douglas International Airport. How did I know this? Because I frequent that airport too much when I go to visit. And then Sean Dean had posted that Christian Cage is a evil individual. I think because he mentioned the Philadelphia Phillies losing. Excuse me, their shot for the World Series, and then Swerve quote tweeted, "Hold my beer."
Yeah.
So-
So what's it called? Yeah. I saw that earlier. I'm like, ah, shit. This guy, I know, cause last week he said he's gonna do something. I'm like, oh, is he gonna go like to his parents' house or something
That's
like
what
that?
I was thinking, because I thought like, oh, because I know he's from Virginia. I thought maybe he had moved his folks out to North Carolina as well, but nope.
Yep. So we had the video, Prince Nana. He starts off, "We in the money, we in the money," and
opens the door.
and then, well, all of a sudden, we're in the money, my friends, and fucking all of a sudden we're in a. He says, "Welcome to the Hangman residence." So they're in Hangman's house. Hangman's looking. They cut back to Hangman. He's looking fucking shocked. He's looking in shock and in awe. And here comes Swerve through the door. There is fucking literally home invasion going on in progress.
Twice. He done it twice.
Oh yeah. So home invasion between Swerve and Nana. They're looking around. They're playing with shit. He's ripping up his kids' fucking paintings. He's playing on the
Nah,
couch.
he said, "Now I know, and y'all don't know art." Rips it up.
Yeah. So he hears a sound, and he all of a sudden, Nana's like, "Boss, I think this is a bad idea. I think this is a bad idea." And he's like, "Shut up."
Wait.
Well, I do want to say this though. The way Nana was speaking to Swerve here felt like,
Hey, this is too much.
and this is no. This is what I love about these two and how they interact. Cause Swerve is a fucking asshole. He's a big fucking deal asshole. But Nana is like the lovable loser, and like listen, he's just entertaining. He's pure entertaining, and he's just great. But what I see here is like, if you watch a not a cartoon, but if you watch like an animated show or a movie, like, you have the big bad villain, and you have his loud, boisterous, kind of comedically inclined spokesperson, like his little fucking guy that is on his side, that is speaking for him and like doing all this shit. That's Nana and Swerve.
Yeah.
They literally play off each other so well, like they're fucking comic book characters, and I think they're great. But
See,
Swerve
I
goes over.
So, where was his wife, and why was his kid left home alone?
She was probably sleeping. See,
I think with
th-
being
see,
that,
I mean,
I think
I
with
mean,
them
real,
being
real,
how
listen,
loud they were.
listen, realism is not a place in wrestling. I will say
Okay.
that, but though, if this was a real thing, Swerve and Prince Nana would be in a body bag right now.
Yes.
If you had any sense in the world, because if that shit happened to me, I'm gonna have two bodies on my name.
I also
Because
think
ain't no motherfuckers gonna come in my house and try to fucking talk to my baby without getting a bullet in their fucking lung. But it's that's not how, I mean, it's not how the world works. If that shit happened, the cops would have been called. I mean, shit.
some
Swerve would
security
have been
system
fucking
you have,
arrested.
Hangman.
Yeah, I mean, Hangman, some fucking cowboy this guy is. But anyway, Swerve
Leaving
goes
his
over
door
to
unlocked.
he goes over to the crib, the baby's crib, and he starts talking to the baby, and he's basically cutting a promo on Hangman while talking to Hangman's son in the crib. And he takes a shirt. He has a Prince Nana
I'll come
shirt,
back for this.
and he puts it in the crib with Hangman's baby, and he was just basically saying like, listen, you made this personal, and this is what we have to do now. This is on you. I never wanted this, but this is on you. So Swerve is doing some dastardly shit. He's a fucking sick asshole. I love this. In my opinion, this is Swerve's doing the best work of his career right now, and some of the best heel work in wrestling. But yeah, I really enjoyed this segment, and obviously there's gonna be it raises the stakes immensely for this Hangman Swerve feud.
Oh, 100%. Because halfway throughout the promo, Hangman stormed out of the ring, and then we had an update later in the night saying, hey, that Hangman has left the building, probably got on Tony's private jet, and immediately flown back to North Carolina. So after this, we now go backstage. Renee is with Adam Copeland, and then Sting walks up, and we talked about this earlier, how Sting is like, hey, like, you need to get your head out of your ass. What?
No, I just saw something funny. It was a fucking anime capybara meme, but then it cut to a tutorial how to cook methamphetamine with little paragraphs of detailed instructions.
God
I'm
damn
gonna
it.
retweet that.
God.
Anyway, no, we need more meth in the world. Anyway,
What the fuck does that mean? We need more
I like
meth in the world.
Breaking Bad. I like that show. So
Oh, so do I. I watched it in a week and a half. I rewatched it in a matter of a few days.
Afterwards, we had Adam Copeland talking to Renee, and she's asking, listen, what do we do here? But before she could really get anything off, here comes Sting and Darby, and they just Sting just fucking lays into Adam Copeland here, and he says, listen, you need to wake up before it's too late. You need to help us, because obviously that's probably going to be the partner. But we get it. You wanted to come here to ride off in the sunset with your best friend, but that's not the world we live in right now. But Sting was just chastising him. But listen, you need to wake up. We can see right through him. You need to open your eyes, and we need to open them quick.
Christian, real quick on on Tom's comment on the YouTube page. Do you know any weight to it?
Hey, did you hear the rumor of Punk versus Miyoshi?
Is that a rumor?
No, it's not a fucking rumor. What? They're in fucking. That's called a troll comment.
Well, no. Like, no, he is not a troll. Remember, this is Mike's friend.
Stipe Miocic is a fucking heavyweight.
Hey, listen, I don't shoot the messenger. He's just relaying news to us.
That's not news. Stipe Miocic is bigger than the entire AEW roster. That has no weight. Punk is never going to be in the UFC again.
Oh, yeah, Punk's also been blackballed.
It was supposed to be John Jones versus Stipe Miocic at Madison in Madison Square Garden in the main event. That fight is off because John Jones tore his pec. Yeah, CM Punk versus Miocic in fucking.
Listen,
Madison Square Garden in the main event.
hey!
I have a better shot at taking Anna Jay out on a fucking hot date than that happening.
Hey, it's Mike's friend. He's just relaying something to us.
That had to be a joke. There was no way that wasn't a joke. If that was a joke, you need to fucking unfollow everybody you've known. Oh, we got a big time Rampage announcement. I'll say that for the Rampage rundown.
Okay, I probably just.
But yeah, that was the Copeland and Sting segment. After this, we had the women's title match between Ruby Soho and Hikaru Shida. This was fine. There was nothing really here. There was nothing really here at all. They kind of never really got off the ground, in my opinion. But that's all it was fine. It was extremely slow. But yeah, it just didn't seem like they were on the same page a lot. But yeah, Shida retained.
Is it just me, or is it or has the katana kick gotten like less and less powerful on how it's been like?
It's not less and less powerful. She's just not doing it fast enough. Like if she did it with a lot more speed and that's the thing. That's the one complaint I've always had about Shida. I like Shida. She's very good, the one thing about her is that it feels like she's afraid to lay her shit in. Like if she was like Jamie or Tony, where she actually laid her shit in and fucking
Well,
like
I
actually
think it's the fact in which
struck.
that like Shida needs an opponent to do that to her. Because she's not gonna get that type of shit with Ruby. She might get it with Tony. Tony's definitely gonna lay
No,
shit
she
in.
will get it with Tony, and I mean, that's the thing. It's like Athena, Jamie, Tony. They land their shit in. They fucking hit you. They're gonna hit you, and that's what. And their matches are better for it. They lay their shit in, but they're safe.
Yeah, I
Shida,
think
it feels like she's working too safe.
well, it's
and I
because
think she needs to
Shida
start
needs
laying her shit in.
it's because Shida needs an opponent that's gonna do that with her.
He doesn't need that. It doesn't. If I walked up to you and smashed you in the fucking jaw, I don't need you to fucking smash me in the jaw for me to smash you hard in the jaw.
Okay.
She could just do it, and that's the one thing people always complain about with Roosh, and Roosh has actually been working this into his promos. They're saying he's too dangerous. Roosh ain't no fucking danger. He's not dangerous. Why everybody wants to work with Roosh? Because he lays his shit in and he has great matches. Him laying his shit in makes you say, "Oh fuck, I have to lay my shit in." It's the same thing Bryan Danielson said at the media scrum with Ricky Starks. I hit him and he hit me back. Not a lot of people do that. That's what has to happen here. You need to lay your shit in, and if the other person doesn't like it, they lay their shit in too. Be safe. Obviously, wrestling is protecting your opponent first, but you can lay your shit in and get the other person to be on that level. Because that's what pro wrestling is. It's physical. You can't be scared to hit somebody.
I'm about to add something to the overlay. I forgot I wanted to add this earlier, but it slipped my mind. You'll see when I do the transfer and shit over on it. It'll pop you though. I'll say that one, Christian. It'll pop you. There it is. Open. I don't want it to be like covering the entire screen. Come on. If you want to continue on, you can. I'm just moving around.
Yeah. So, what's it called? We had after this, we had the fucking MJF backstage segment. He was getting looked at by the medic, and here comes Samoa Joe. Samoa Joe basically tells him, "Listen, I'm not here to fight. Um, he wants another shot at his championship, but there's a lot of people that are coming after him and aren't looking out for your best interest. So listen, I'll tag with you. I'll be your partner." And MJF's like, "Shit, bro, sure." And he shakes his hand, but he says, "On one condition, I get my rematch for the AEW World Championship." And he said he didn't have to answer him now, but the way things are going, he wants his answers soon enough. So that's the one thing I really like about this MJF story right now, is that the walls are closing in on MJF. There is so many people trying to get him. It is insane. The walls are closing in on this guy, and he has the weight of the world on his shoulder.
Yeah.
He has Samoa Joe coming after him. He has Kenny Omega coming after him. He has Roddy and the Kingdom coming after him. He has fucking Jay White and the entire Bullet Club Gold coming after him. He's got a fucking guy impersonating him in the devil mask who might be after him or might not be. He has Wardlow coming after him. He has so many guys who gunning for him that it's creating this thing where he's basically in peril at all times of losing his title. So I really like that, and I don't know if MJF is going to make this team, if he's not going to choose the Roddy and the Kingdom or the Acclaimed, and he's going to take just random guys like Samoa Joe and a couple more, but we'll see. But yeah, and we actually forgot to talk about this as well, but we also had a Chris Jericho sit down with Renee, and he was just talking about how badly he was beaten by Powerhouse Hobbs. And he said, "Listen, I need to step up. I need to get more aggressive. And I also have another friend that's bigger than Powerhouse Hobbs, and I think it's time for me to give him a call." And that was alluding to somebody. And the first person I thought of was Paul White, because not a while ago, I think it was a couple months ago, that Jericho trademarked Jericho. Actually, Yeah, it might have been Jericho, but it was something pertaining to Paul White and Jericho. He trademarked it. So I don't know if he's gonna have enlist help from Paul White there, but or another big man he knows, because I couldn't really think of anybody else.
Hey, Christian, did you see
But
the
yeah.
overlay change?
Oh, actually, not yet. Yeah. Fucking bamboozled. Fucking big Zack Sabre Jr. guy. Gigantic. Fucking abnormal. Abhorrent. Crazy Zack Sabre Jr. guy. Imagine not being a Zack Sabre Jr. guy. Couldn't be me.
Man, can you believe it? The whole Pro Wrestling Injection team.
Love Zack Sabre
Yeah,
Jr.
yeah, we're all big Zack Sabre Jr. fans.
I am for real a Zack Sabre Jr. fan. It's just
Oh,
we have some fucking
I am too.
dummies who don't. Huh? Hey, dummy. Yeah.
Nixon, I told Nick just to peep the channel real quick. I'm gonna move it. I'm gonna move it down so it's not like just fully obscured on us. Oh God.
Anyway, yeah, after the Samoa Joe and MJF one, we had the Rampage and Collision lineup. So we had, for the Rampage lineup, we have, which was just announced, which this is an excellent match, and I can't wait for this. We have Konosuke Takeshita versus Kyle Fletcher. That is a excellent fucking match.
That's gonna be
and
a
I cannot-
fucking like
Yeah, I
if
can't wait.
that's gonna be a New Japan match right there.
Yeah, well, yeah, absolutely. That's going to be a great match. We have Kenny Omega and MJF will speak. We have a women's four-way between Sky Blue, Willow Nightingale, Anna Jay, and Abaddon. That's the fucking Abaddon, her yearly Halloween show appearance. Because that's the only time we get to see Abaddon really, is around Halloween, which I have no complaints about. But anyway,
She's a good wrestler. I'm gonna use proper pronouns. I'm sorry. I'm a freak about it. But they're a good wrestler. They just need a proper storyline to put them into the stratosphere.
yeah, she's been signed. She got signed the same day as Ricky.
Yeah.
So she's been here for a couple years now. They haven't really done anything with her. I don't expect them to renew her contract when it comes up, whenever it does. But actually, she was never really good in the beginning. I don't know how she's progressed. I know she's been hitting the indies, which is the best thing for her. But she really wasn't anything great during the early times that she had matches.
They just need a good story, and then boom, there they are.
It's a hard character to do.
Yeah,
but her
especially
in ring needs a lot of work for them to even take a look at her. So I would just have her hit the indies. I don't think they're gonna renew her contract at all because they barely ever use her. But anyway, I don't see her winning that. They have I could actually see her winning that just to do a obligatory Halloween match. But Anna already wrestled Shida for the title. Willow and Sky Blue are in a match, not a match, in a storyline with Chris Statlander right now for the TBS title. So Abaddon might as well win. I don't know. But I think she has an actual shot of winning.
Yeah.
But the other match is actually a big one, which I actually wish was actually on Collision instead of Rampage. But we have the first match and the grudge match between Santana and Ortiz, the first one-on-one match between the two. It's actually been pretty well built up. So I'm excited to see that one. And the Collision lineup, we have, first off, we have Hikaru Shida versus the winner of that women's fatal four-way. So that's going to be going down. We have, obviously, we mentioned earlier, Kenny Omega versus MJF for the world title, which obviously is a must-see, and I cannot wait for that. And I think that's the only stuff they announced for Collision so far.
Yes.
Yeah, so I believe that's the only thing we got for Collision right now.
We did talk about the Long Island pay-per-view, pending on ticket prices. I guess expect us
not
to be
yet.
there.
We actually didn't yet. So
well, we briefly touched it then.
No, we we didn't talk about it because we were doing it before the show.
Mhm.
But yeah, so before we get into the main event, they announced it during the main event. But yeah, we have a new pay-per-view called World's End, happening on December 30th, in Long Island, New York, at the Nassau Coliseum. Uh, fucking and listen, Nassau Coliseum, December 30th on a Saturday. It's a pay-per-view. First time a pay-per-view is in New York. You will not see a fucking pre or post show for the pay-per-view because my ass is gonna go.
Same.
Um,
I will.
um,
All depends on ticket prices, but like going up by the 200 level seats that I saw, shit looks amazing. So
I'm definitely. Yeah, there's no way I'm missing this one. Definitely gonna be going to World's End. But yeah, very very excited. Tickets are on sale next Friday at 10 a.m., which is that's general sale. So probably pre-sale will probably be on the Thursday, the day before.
hmm
Um,
keep your
we'll
eye
see how
out
that
on
plays
wrestling
out.
purists because they will drop the
Yeah,
pre-sale code.
Meltzer put it out. PW Insider will put it out. WrestleTix will put it out.
Yeah.
So if you're gonna attend that show, make sure to get the pre-sale code.
Thankfully, I
But
get paid
yeah,
every
that's
Thursday.
exciting.
Let's go.
Yeah, that's like very exciting. I've never been to a high scale pay-per-view to this like a pay-per-view like that has like this type of company. Like I've been to like this is probably be the highest scale pay-per-view I've been to. I went to the New Japan Ring of Honor G1 Supercard show at MSG. I went to NXT Takeover Brooklyn 4, but those aren't going to be as big as an AEW pay-per-view. And I've never been to. I've always wanted to go to an AEW pay-per-view, but they're always outside of our market.
Well,
And this is the
besides, like,
first time.
you had Jersey, you had, like, the Prudential Center.
I didn't go there.
Well, say, like, it wasn't outside of our market, though. It was,
Oh, I'm saying like at like Long Island
yeah,
market.
outside of the New York market.
Like Long Island, tri-state area, Queens, all that shit.
It's like, I've only been to a handful of wrestling shows. I've been to, one Raw house show back in 2013. So, it was, that was, like, when shit was popping off in WWE. Then I did SmackDown after SummerSlam, AEW. I've been to Fight for the Fallen, Dynamite, and now Grand Slam. So I am looking forward to this. I will be going. I'll make sure to go.
Definitely. So and now it's time for the main event, which
Yes.
this got announced. I was actually not home for Collision, but I watched it when I got home, and I couldn't fucking believe this. What the fuck? I saw this was coming up across my phone. I was like, holy shit. Like, I mean,
Okada?
obviously, Okada and all the other heavyweights like Ospreay, they're all around because Super Junior Tag League is going on right now in New Japan, and they don't have to be in Japan at all.
Yeah.
Until the Power Struggle Road to start. But anyway, we have Claudio Castagnoli and Bryan Danielson versus Orange Cassidy, the international champion, and Kazuchika Okada, the Rainmaker, Kazuchika Okada. And obviously, this was fucking great. Okada got a great reaction. And this was just a great match. I love the hot tag where Okada and Danielson finally get into the match.
Oh my god, yeah.
And the crowd and everything. Because obviously, they just wrestled that Forbidden Door. Bryan beat him with a broken arm. He submitted him for the first time since 2014 with a broken arm. And obviously that's a big deal. And this was just, I love they were going at it. This was such a great tag match. This was so good. The finishing segments of this match was so great. The Okada pose where the zoom out comes from, when they did the Okada pose and they zoomed out, and then Orange went and hugged him, and then they zoomed out again. That was excellent because if you didn't know, the best friends hug when they zoom
Gotta
out.
give the
That came
people
from
what they
Okada.
want.
Yeah, that came from Okada and Chaos, and it makes sense why it's not a random thing that Orange is tagging with Okada. Orange is a member of Chaos in New Japan because Trent and Chuck are, and
And so
Okada
is
is the
Chris
leader.
Statlander.
And Okada is
And so
the
is
leader.
roughly Yuta. Yuta is roughly a part
Nah,
of it.
not anymore. He's out.
Okay.
He's not in that stable anymore. But anyway, I mean, this was just so cool. I mean, it was fucking great. And like I think this might have been New Japan's call. Because it makes sense for me that they would want Okada in the ring with Danielson again.
Mhm.
But the finish came from there was a great spot. This actually tied into the ending of the show. Bryan put Okada in the label lock. He was able to get out of it. Claudio and Orange worked again, but near the finish, Okada ended up holding Danielson for the Orange Punch. Orange hit the Orange Punch on Danielson, and immediately after, Okada hit the Rainmaker, and he nailed him. Danielson was done, and then after that, Claudio dispelled of Okada, and then Claudio finished Orange Cassidy with the pop up European uppercut, and that was the finish of Danielson and Okada win. I mean Danielson and Claudio win.
And then
After the match, immediately the Doc Samson is checking on Bryan Danielson. He's holding he's basically like his cheekbone and his mouth and his jaw area. And Moxley and Wheeler ran out. And he was doing that because obviously the Orange Punch hit him right then, and then he got hit with the Rainmaker. And Okada was just staring at Danielson. He was staring at him intently. He was staring at him. He was kind of taunting him. He was like this. He was taunting Bryan Danielson because he's obviously fucking pissed about what happened at Forbidden Door. But obviously the rest of the best friends, Trent, Chuck, Rocky, and Hook and Statlander came out. And that's how the show went off the air. But Okada was just staring at Danielson. Claudio was in between them. They announced that next week we're going to be getting an international title match between Claudio and Orange Cassidy, which sounds real good.
Imagine if Claudio wins.
Maybe.
God.
I think this is probably just the buffer because they have to do him and Moxley again after what they did, the angle they shot on Battle of the Belts.
Yeah. Which was fucking
But anyway,
awesome.
that's how the show went off the air, and I thought this was a great show tonight, great matches, and I love seeing Okada on the show. Obviously, love that. Just a lot of fun and a lot of great. I think Tony Khan heard a lot of the complaints where like he packed the show with big stars. This show contained, if this is crazy if you think about it, this show contained Kenny Omega, MJF, Kazuchika Okada, Sting, Darby Allin, Adam Copeland, John Moxley, Bryan Danielson, Ric Flair, fucking Christian Cage, Tony Storm, Roderick Strong, Billy Gunn, The Acclaimed, Jay White. I mean, Rob Van Dam. I mean, Chris Jericho. I mean, holy shit. That's a lot of Samoa Joe. That's tons and tons and tons of huge names.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of people get on Tony about
either overpacking the show or underpacking.
Not that, but just protective booking. Like being too overly protective. Like maybe like guys need to like get out there. Like you have Young Bucks, you have that's why I love like the Hangman and the Swerve feud right now, because it's a star against a star. Jay White and MJF, a star and a star. You have fucking Bryan Danielson, and you have Okada in the ring, and he's got shit to do with Ricky Starks and all this stuff. Star. I love what's going on right now in this company.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, I wasn't as talkative today because computer was acting like dog shit. So Christian, I appreciate you taking over in those moments. Wrestler of the week, I will give it to fucking Juice Robinson. I'll give it to him. He got color tonight. Amazing match with him and MJF.
For me, I guess, my rest of the week, I'll give it to. I'm gonna give it to Kazuchika Okada. I mean, showing up on Dynamite, first ever Dynamite match. I mean, nothing wrong with that at all.
Yeah.
So, fuck yeah, boy.
All right, guys. We appreciate you all for watching. Next week, maybe Mike's back. I don't know. And yeah. Is next week before or after Halloween? Is it
After?
Okay, yes.
Day after.
Everyone have a safe and happy Halloween.
Nah, I hope you get razor blades in your chocolate.
That's Christian here. That's not me. I do not condone the razor blades and chocolates, but the razor blades and apples I do condone.
All right, well,
All right,
apples to
guys.
oranges, I guess.
Thank you all. We'll see you next week.